They've got one up there. We're good.
We're up. I'd like to call the meeting to order and start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yes. We have the first item is going to be the approval of the agenda, and we have one addition under 7, animal shelter work. Are there any other additions? Hearing none. Looks like it's me and you again, Rebecca.
I make a motion to accept.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
First thing on the agenda is public comment. Seeing no public comment, we'll move forward. The next item is approval of the minutes from 2/21/23. Any additions, corrections?
I make a motion to accept.
I'll second that motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Approval of the minutes from 3/1/23. Any additions or corrections?
The ones you said, the ones.
Okay. I'll make the motion to approve the minutes from 3/1/23.
No, second.
Have a first and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
The next item is approval of the payroll. Any comments? I'll make a motion to approve the payroll as submitted.
And I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Approval of the advance claims. I'll make the motion to approve the advance claims.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Approval of the claim docket for 3/6/23.
I make a motion to approve it.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Item D, life insurance claim. Any comments? I'll make a, okay.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Health insurance claims. I'll make a motion to approve the health insurance claims.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The next item, we have below time and attendance software quote. And
I had sent that to you guys. I did get them to knock 1,500 off and did get more explanation as to the fees. When I called, they had kind of just lump summed all the hours into what we interpreted, and I did as well, as to training hours. And they, so they revised the wording. This pricing includes custom programming to each pay class via county policies to automate as many functions as possible through the integration. So I did get them to knock 1,500 off. I did meet with Ann Island last week. They do have a time and attendance software. It's just looking into seeing if we can get it to communicate and talk with Lao. So I have another meeting with Ann Island on this Friday to see where he's at on that. And I've reached out to a couple other companies that do time and attendance, just looking at the pricing of their softwares. Of course, we'll have the same situation as with Island. Can it communicate with Allow, payroll, and financials. So just wanted to let you guys know I am working on this. As I know we all have talked, it's something I think that we need to look into doing. So just keeping you up to date on where we're at on that.
And I also think, Chris, what we need to do is try to carve out all of our employee classifications. It'll simplify the implementation portion of it as long as we clearly have that through our handbook. This is what we're talking about, so that
Personnel.
there's not a question back and forth and we burn a bunch of hours because we don't actually have an answer for them. So that's a task that we'll have to do internally to make sure that, and that'll be for any vendor. We just have to do that, so. The next item we have is review of the annual financial report.
I did email you guys the 2022 annual financial report, report of receipts and expenditures. This was submitted through Gateway on Friday, February 24th. Was advertised in the Perry County News on February 27th, so the deadline of February 28th was met. So that is all done. Through this, working with Baker Tilly, I've set up a lot of things within LAO that will streamline and make things a lot smoother with the annual financial report next year, this time. It is good to have a consultant, have a second set of eyes to kind of look at things. So they were very helpful through all that. So thank you guys.
And we don't need to take any action on that.
No, I just wanted to give an
Okay.
update on that.
All right, the next item on the agenda is number 5, is a roof leak out at the Armory Annex. Warren called me this morning before the meeting, and he's involved in a autopsy currently and a couple other issues, so he's unable to attend. One of the concerns I have, I don't know exactly where the drawings are on that building, but I believe the roof was put on in the vicinity of 2016. So he said he had contacted Greg Hendershot, and we just need to follow up with Greg because it potentially could still be under warranty. I would assume it would be. And we need to notify the vendor.
Roof warranties usually are 10 years or more.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, 10 years. And the minutes reflect 2016 when the project was carried out, so that's only 7 years. So we need to make sure Greg's
I
aware
will
of that.
get with Greg. I know I spoke with him last Friday when this craziness was going on. So I will get with him on the warranty of the roof.
Right. Next item is number 6. It's a review of the annual financial report from the Highway Department. Steve Howe.
I emailed all you guys a copy of this and our attorney, and we do this every year, so I just get you guys to approve it and sign it.
No.
It won't stay on. I turned it on this morning, but I don't think it stays on. We've changed the batteries. Kelly's. All right, we'll try it.
And it'll probably start.
Well,
Yep.
Yeah.
I just need to get you guys to approve it and sign it.
One question I've got, Steve, is, and I'm sure, I think it's on page 5. It's in the column of brick. There was several miles of road, and I just suspect that probably should have been gravel.
Oh, yeah, I probably would.
Yeah, so I'm unaware of the county having a brick road.
No.
It's back on where the totals were.
That's in the wrong line, that should be down one.
Just take her down one, then they'll know we have a gravel road instead of a brick
Brick
road.
road.
mhm.
That's the only thing I noticed on there.
Okay.
Any other comments, questions? So,
No.
do we need to take action on that or just sign? I guess we probably do if we're gonna sign it. Looking for a motion to accept the annual financial report from the Highway Department.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second
Do
it.
you wanna rephrase that motion with that amendment?
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right. So we'll look for a amendment to the current document to reflect gravel in place of the brick.
Correct.
And I'll have a motion to, with amendment,
Yes.
and I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Signature page, for you guys, sign the agendas. Thank you.
The next item on the agenda is the edit plan. We went through that. Andrew's worked his magic on it. We've had an opportunity to look at it. Is there any questions, discussions?
No, I read it earlier.
If there isn't any, I'll entertain a motion to accept the edit plan as written.
I'll second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The next item we have on our agenda is the animal shelter contract. Andrew, you're still working on that?
Yes, I'm working on that last thing you sent
Yeah.
out.
We're close on that one. What he wants us to add some additional language in there to make sure that the county is not held liable. And other than that, it's pretty well completed, so.
Yes, we spoke with Molly at the last meeting we had, and she was good with it, but we need to let her look at the additions.
Yeah,
Right.
this has changed, so we'll table that for this time and address it at the next meeting, or if we need to move this forward, we can have a special meeting once we get the document.
Right.
If, cut a few weeks off of it. Next item we have, got a D in there. I'm gonna go through the review of the Animal Control Board letters of interest, having just one, is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
And a letter of support from the Humane Society for Tanya Rankin.
Mm-hmm.
So, any discussions,
No.
comments?
I make a motion for Tanya to be on the board.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
This is simple. Item, the additional item for animal shelter work that Chris put on there. Is that-
You would ask me to add that on there.
Animal shelter,
Mhm.
okay.
The roof, last week was, before we had the floods, the roof was completely resprayed. And Saturday, Molly had found 4 small leaks yet, so I'm contacting them again today to come back. She knows where they're at, and I'm gonna get them to come back in those areas within probably a 10, 15 square foot range. I'm gonna have them respray it again. We're having the door installed. And then Molly was fine with all of this, and then, have maybe a soft opening of the animal shelter, because she is getting a lot of calls on animals. So that's basically where we're at right now. And we do have some bids that came in for the guttering and the downspouts. And whatever these contractors do, we cannot disturb the integrity of the roof itself. I've told them I don't want anyone on that roof, because that will actually void our warranty. And so they know it. The bids that came in, they know this.
So we're not ready to take any action on any other bids necessarily today? This is just information, or?
This is informational, the bids are in. The bids are in.
Okay.
We have one bid for the for the downspouts and guttering from BRK, Brian Robbins. BKR, and we also have one from JSC Contracting. They're similar, well, it's the same work that they're going to be doing. Price-wise, it's basically in the general area, so it's just gonna be up to us to look at this and see which one we need to go with.
So we'll just need to review the bids and then take action?
Right.
Later. Okay. Do you want to schedule for the next commissioners meeting?
Yes, we need to schedule that for the next commissioners meeting. Bids on the guttering and downspouts.
Is there anything, I know we talked about cleaning it and, power washing it and,
Yes, I did receive one bid on that from Red Gorilla, and I still am waiting. I've emailed him and told him that I need a copy of his insurance to be sent to Chris, and as of yet, I don't think, have you gotten anything?
I didn't have it as of this
And
moment.
he also gave us a 30% discount for doing this.
so, you want to include that in the next meeting? too?
Yes.
And then if something changes or that, just let Chris know.
Right, and also on the back walls in the kennels, we're getting bids on that, where it will be repaired.
Okay.
And I've gotten one contractor looking at it, and he hasn't worked up his bids yet, but I'm trying to look for another contractor that would be interested in doing it.
So as I get those, do you want me to forward those out to you guys, or just print them for the next meeting and put them with the supporting documents on the agenda, or do you want to?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay.
Because right now, the contractors are getting busy, and some of them are already busy, and you're looking at maybe 6 months out on certain things, so I don't know what, if we are required to have 2 to 3 bids, it may be a while before this can be done. But we are wanting to go ahead and get it done and get our shelter opened.
What we've done in the past is we ask for those amounts, and then if people are too busy or whatever, just get a letter or something from them that, so that you actually have some documentation to support so that it doesn't appear like you're just working with one.
Right.
Just for
And I want to
that
make it
purpose.
clear that a lot of the inside work can be done after the shelter is open.
So we can get it open and move on.
Yes, and move on. But, like back in the back where the kennels are and the walls are tore up, and it's going to have to be redone, the walls back there. Molly also stated that she can move the animals from one side of the pens, and while we're working on that and get it done, then she can move them back while the contractors work on the other side.
Okay.
So,
keep that in mind. One other thing that I should have mentioned, and I wanted to bring Andrew involved, I think we all were aware of a flooded road, and Steve, were you aware of this road?
Is it Canada?
I think so.
yes,
yeah.
it's in Clark Township.
And I was wondering, just for general discussion, what apparently has happened, a landowner has put an embankment up along the county road, and then it prevents water that used to run into their field from running into the field, and now it's flooded that road. Now, we had a lot of rain here at the last day there, I think it was maybe Friday. My question is where we actually stand. Do you think this is going to be a problem in a normal rain, Steve, or what's your thoughts on this?
The foreman told me that when we have a rain like that road floods anyway.
Irregardless.
Yeah, whether that berm was set, they cleaned out that ditch and put it along that field. And I was also told this morning that had been turned over to turned into IDEM for them to come and.
Inspected?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the action we follow. So county basically waits for a report from IDM as to what.
I don't know who reported to IDM, but one property owner told me that it hadn't been, that IDM had been called on, they was gonna come down still legal for somebody to backwater up on somebody else.
Okay.
I think this is, it's not a single situation here. It's, there's been other issues in that area also.
Yes.
And,
So Andrew, as far as we're concerned, county government stays out of it till IDM comes in with a ruling, or how does that, I'm not really familiar with the process or what we should do, or,
Well, I mean, if we wanted to, we could send them a letter saying, you know, I think that'd probably be the first step, saying, you know, this is county right of way. You know, you, by doing this, you are impeding the county way. You're, you know, impeding the county's right for that property to that road. Please, you know, disable it. But then I think the next issue will be like he said, that, well, that road floods anyway. It's not mine, you know. Technically, they could fix it, but they could argue that it's not their fault. But, I mean, if you want me to send a letter and just say, hey, take it down, it needs to be in compliance with the way, so that we have access to our county right away. Or we can wait for IDEM and then have a little bit more heft to it when we
do
send
you
it
have
out.
any idea, Steve, how quick
My
IDM?
suggestion would be to see what IDM does. This is a feud between, an old feud, and we try to stay out of them if at all possible.
right.
And, I think it'd be best we just see what IDM says, and they're not really changing anything from the highway department's view of it. You know, if it flooded before and it's doing it again, there was water on the other side of the arm also. I mean, the creek down there, it just won't, it's more water than what it could take.
Yeah, when you have a rain like this, it just is gonna be a problem. Yeah.
But I would suggest just waiting and seeing what IDM comes up with on it.
Do you have any idea when they may come to look at this?
He told me, one of the property owners told me this morning that they called them this weekend. I don't know, last time IDM was called on anything that we were involved in, they were there in just within a week, looking at it.
Okay, so
If you
possibly
could-
by the next meeting, we'll have a little more
Yeah,
information.
if you could keep us up on that.
So, yeah.
Okay.
You know, will IDEM give you a report on it also?
They'll send, they'll contact, they either call or send me a letter or both,
Okay.
telling us what, what they think, what they've seen.
All right. And I also want to thank you and your department, Steve, for all the work you did over the weekend.
They're still doing it.
Because I know it was a nightmare
Yeah.
for everyone, the linemen, the county, the state, everyone. But I want to,
We tried to work with Southern Indiana Power and get them where they need to be, and we had so many guys out for so long that we were running out, after 16 hours, we had to send them home for.
right.
And we had a time finding enough people to get the trees out and get Southern Indiana Power where they need to be at.
Right.
But I do commend you and your department for
Thank you.
everything you've done.
Thank you.
And also the cleanup on what I refer to as Shepherd Hatchery Road.
Oh, yes.
Looks so much better.
Oh, it's wonderful out there now. I mean, I've had property owners and homeowners out there email me and tell me how nice it is to live on a road now. They're proud of where they live. And I know it took a lot of work and a lot of bee stings to get this cleaned up.
Yeah.
Nobody got any honey out of that.
No, I contacted someone from the Beekeepers Club, and they came and boxed them up, or whatever it is they do, and they're gone.
Is there any other things for discussion?
I just want to go back on that. Use the 21st is your next meeting, is that correct? The reason I'm asking that, do you think that maybe the contract that's going to be the signing of it?
We're hopeful, if not sooner. If we can actually get the details completed and Molly's okay with it, we can have a special meeting. Doesn't take us 5 minutes.
The reason I'm saying that, I'm working with Molly now to get her, believe it or not, about 300 pounds of cat litter, because I knew it's getting close. So I'm trying to work with our board to start getting her some supplies
Yep.
for what she needs. I have to, she had to, give me some kind of figures, and then I can get it to the board.
Well, she just walked in the door, so you have a personal conversation with her, and I'm sure she'd appreciate everything you could do.
This morning about it, but
So,
I got about 300 pounds of cat litter. I think I can get you brand new cat litter.
there's several people that's ready to step up and start helping her, so.
Yes.
Once we get the details worked out on the contract, she's comfortable with them. If we get them in a few days or whatever, we can call a special meeting within 48 hours only to sign that agreement, because we're pretty well, everybody's on board. It's just the unique language we want to include in it. It's just the only thing we're lacking, so if we can do it and get it going, there's no reason for us to wait 2 or 3 weeks, so.
Anyway, like I said, I wanted to make sure that you understand that we're trying to work with it.
Yep.
That's good.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Any other comments? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that second motion, make that
You're
motion.
gonna make it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
second it. All those in favor?
Aye. When is the
Meeting
next
adjourned,
meeting?
21st. He was right. It's a Tuesday,
Mhm.
yeah.